Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlama and today I am bringing you a PvZ on Shattered Temple. This is going to be between our red Protoss Axel spawning up in the top right corner, and down in the bottom left we do have the blue Zerg Gambit. So this is going to be a Masters game. Axel, of course, is one of my buddies. He is a caster as well. Axel Toss, feel free to check him out. He has everything's pretty much Axel Toss or Axel Toss SC, so just kind of look around. I'm sure you've seen him or heard of him. He casted at MLG, I believe, not too long ago, something like that. So not on the main stage, but he casted in the back. Yeah, the Winter Championships. And Gambit, don't know too much about Gambit. I actually think I have seen Gambit play one game before, so I'm not quite sure where, but I think I have. So this is going to be PvZ, and Shattered Temple is the map, so you have to remember annoying rocks, make it kind of a stranger game. It just kind of changes the flow of the game. If your opponent forge fast expands, which Axel is not doing actually, so Axel going to be going for early gate, and we'll have to see if he goes for a 1-gate expand, something like that, as usually 3-gate expand puts you too far behind. So he either has to go for some sort of 1-base push or 1-gate expand, something like that. That tends to be the most optimal style as of right now. But yeah, if your opponent does opt to forge fast expand right here, it just kind of puts the Zerg in a very strange position, as they are then stuck not able to push onto 3-base, so you'll see a lot of 2-base all-ins, things like that. You'll see 2-base Muta play a lot on this map, as there's also a lot of airspace. As you can see, all of the beautiful airspace. And you can hide, your Mutas can like chill up here. I mean, they can't really hang up there, but they can run up there and stuff to hide. And Overlords can hang back there. So Axel going to be getting down a gas now as well. He does have the 1-gate. And our Zerg player going for a gasless expansion, so not going to be getting the early gas, which on this map is kind of a half and half thing. I sometimes see players get the early gas, and it looks like he was trying to get down a 16 hatch right there, but his opponent Axel just going to block it with the pylons. This is, of course, is going to force him to just get out a Queen, get out an Overlord, maybe build a few Lings here. That's what I would imagine would be happening, but no Lings, so he's going to simply take down this pylon with drones. An interesting choice, as well as sending a drone out here. So interesting drone, or hatchery placement I should say, by our player Gambit, and it looks like he's just going to use this hatchery to mine away at the gold. I'm not quite sure. Has he scouted his opponent yet? As that could be a big factor. No, he has not. So just now he's going to scout that his opponent has not forged fast expanded, and this might change everything, as Gambit, I'm assuming, thought his opponent had forged fast expanded, so he's going for the fast early 3 bases, and yes, there's the early 3 bases. But now, having this hatchery thrown down over here is going to make him very vulnerable. And Axel will have to see if he notices this at all, and is going to be going for any sort of fast pressure. As if he made some sort of 1-gate push off this, he could do a lot of damage. But no, it does not look like he's going for that. He just has a Zell. He's just getting out a sentry and double gassed as well. So we'll have to see what exactly the transition is that he makes. I want to look at Axel's vision one more time. So he does not see anything, actually. He just knows that there was a gasless expand, and that is all that he knows. And his opponent now has taken Extractor, has not yet mined any gas from it though, so really holding off the gas, trying to get as many drones as possible, just now getting the Extractor. And his 3rd hatch has popped, so interesting play right there. And an early drone transfer by Gambit is going to cost him a little bit. That was, I believe he was probably trying to send it over here to the gold, possibly for mining. But long distance mining for no reason is not the best choice. And it looks like Axel might be pushing out with a little something. He does have, what, 3 gates? So possible he is going for a 3-gate expand right here. And an Overlord going to get a full scout on this as he just waltzes across the base. So Gambit should be able to deal with this. He does have 5 Lings and 8 more on the way, so by the time they get out, they will be able to pick off Axel's Sentry and Zealot if they wish. Axel just now scouting the 3rd base, so he has to be a little confused, and I'm really not sure I like Axel pushing out with all these units right here. This is just going to cost him force fields, possibly cost him these sentries, which are the units you do not want to lose. So 1 sentry immediately going to go down. The Zealot going to go down as well, and the 2nd sentry going to try and escape, and yes he will, so going to escape with his life. And Axel just losing free units right there, going for that 3-gate Possibly expand. He is banking a ton of money. Look at how much gas he has right now. Axel up to 600 gas. And what did he just dump it in? 3 sentries. So, yes, he will be going for an expand, 3-get expand. And as I said before, this does put you behind economically. As you can see, his opponent Gambit already up on the drones. He has 3 bases to mine off of, and he can just make a ton of drones now if he really wishes. When he gets over here and he scouts this expansion, I'd imagine that is exactly what he would do, and already droning up, getting down a roach horn to be protective, and he can push in here with these lings and do some damage if he wants. Axel's going to have some very good force fields if he wants to save himself here, so not the best force fields right there. He's actually going to be losing 3 of those sentries already. So Gambit just going to start picking away at this Nexus right here, and does he have the units to deal with this? I'm not sure. Speed finishes now, so he can go ahead and focus down that other sentry as well, and this is a very, very bad situation for Axel. It looks like he will be able to force these units out, as he does have the Zealots down now, but Gambit in such a lead. He could be droning even harder if he really wanted. Look at all these extra larvae he has saved up. I guess not too many. 5 larvae though, 6, 7 larvae that he could be spending, so a little bit slow on his macro production right there, and it looks like he's getting out some roaches to go in for some sort of attack on his opponent. He knows his opponent doesn't have many sentries at all, as he has burned away, I'd say like 5 sentries already this game. Oops, that's the wrong tab. Yeah, units lost tab, resources tons, and a lot of those were sentries, so Axel just now gains expansion up. He's going to be transferring these probes over here, and he is going to have to start chrono boosting those probes out, as he really needs to get himself caught up. Never mind, he's actually completely caught up in the harvester count. I was imagining that Gambit would be on about 60 drones right now, but instead Gambit has invested in these roaches. He's investing in some sort of roachling, very, very strong push. It looks like not too many roaches, but Axel does not have much to defend this at all. It looks like Axel going to only have a few zealots and sentries right here. He will be able to force field this off, so he'll be able to do decent damage right there, but he needs to be careful not to lose too many units here. He can pick off this forge possibly, which would be huge, and a lot of links streaming in. Will they be able to sneak right through there? No. Beautiful force fields once again do go down by Axel, so Gambit kind of stuck in a strange position right now. He's going to be able to take out this pylon though, and a lot of links now going to be streaming in, getting around here, able to pick off some units. Beautiful probe hold right there by Axel, so the cannon will go down, and now the Ling's going to stream in, able to do a lot of damage. The roaches need to get over there and focus down those units as well. I'm not quite sure where they are going, so the roaches not going to be able to do enough damage right there, so Axel with a beautiful hold right there. I imagined that Gambit would have been able to clean him up, but it looked like the Lings pushed in towards the Zealots while the roaches focused on the buildings instead. And it just didn't quite work out for him, so it looks like he's going to continue on this push, though, going to once again try and stream more Lings in over here to deal with this. He's going to try and take out another building, I would imagine, if he wants to get in and do some damage. It looks like the Ling's going to get the surround on the Zealots. They do have the +1 attack upgrade, so now Zealots do one-shot these units, and there we go, more Lings going to stream in, no more Zealots. And I said one-shot Zealots, I meant the Zealots can two-shot the Lings, and a cannon will be able to go up. So it looks like once again Axel going to be able to repel this, but 42 more Lings on the way now for our Zerg opponent Gambit. A lot of his army is invested in this though, and if you look at the harvester count, 32 to 36, so he is really going to have to get in here and do some damage. The cannon is up. There are not many Zealots at all though, but he does have enough force fields to really hold this if he wishes, and he's not going to force field at all, so all these things are going to get in here. They're going to be able to do such big damage. Some Zealot Warpins will be nice. They will be able to help out, and it looks like the Ling's going to get in and start picking off these units. The Zealots doing as much damage as they can. The cannon getting a decent amount of kills in the back here. And the Ling's just going to push straight up through into the main and take out this Immortal possibly. That could be a huge loss for Axel, as he does not want to lose that Immortal. And he is not going to, as the Lings instead decided to go focus down the probe, so a smart choice by Gambit. Always want to kill off those harvesters of your opponent. And it looks like Gambit now opting to finally switch over into the harvesters. So after a long drawn-out attack, multiple waves, that was so many minutes of attacking, he is now going to switch over into the drones. Does have that third mining, but at the distance, however, it is a gold, so I suppose this would count about the same as a third if you actually think about it, because you get what, 8 minerals per mine? 7 or 8, what is it? Let's see, 1206. 11.99. So 7 minerals. So you get 7 minerals per patch instead of 5. There are only 6 patches though instead of the 8. And the Vespine geysers, of course, would be further away. So that would be not as good. But if you just wanted to simply mine some minerals, I think the 6 patches with these drones on it would equate to about the same as the 8 mineral patches. So this could possibly be the new third for this map, or possibly the old third. And I am just very, very outdated on my Shakira's Plateau. Lair has gone down now for our player Gambit. What lair tech is he investing in? He's getting that speed now for his roaches, a very, very crucial thing to have if you are going to maintain that roachling pressure against a Zerg Protoss opponent. I know me as a Zerg player, sometimes I do forget that that roach speed, and that's just crucial. That has cost me so many fights not having that, as you just can't get into your opponents, get close enough to your opponent to kill them off really, and before the force fields go down. So sometimes you can sneak in if you have that speed, but if you don't have the speed, it is very, very difficult. And Axel possibly going to be taking a third here. It looks like he's trying to go for it, but Gambit already sees this. He breaks down those back rocks. Beautiful move right there. And now he's going to try and push in with some roaches and lings and do some aggression, but too many force fields right there from Axel. He has so many sentries that it looks like Gambit's going to be forced to back out. So Axel has clawed his way back into the game, even on the harvester count, as once again Gambit stopped at the 50 harvesters. Very interesting choice by him. And still no lair tech, I don't believe, unless I missed it. No, I don't think I did at all. So still no lair tech. There we go. Finally a Spire going down 16 minutes into the game. I was wondering when he was going to get this. I figured if he would have gone up to fast lair while his opponent was trying to get his expansion secured, stuff like that, he could have possibly thrown down a Spire and really contained his opponent with those Mutalisks. But instead he just opted to maintain the Ling Roach army right here, and it's going to be pushing out. Axel 1-1 pushing out here, and Gambit possibly going to be able to get a decent surrounder here. The Roaches and Lings should be able to meet up at a decent time, and so many force fields do go down. Beautiful force field right there, trapping out half those units, trapping some more units in the middle, and I'm not sure if Gambit's going to have enough to deal with this. Axel dropping so many force fields. He does have those Immortals doing so much damage, and it looks like he's able to actually repel the forces of Gambit. However, you have to remember that Axel did lose a lot of force fields in that battle right there. He only has possibly 1 or 2 force fields left. So was it enough? It looks like Axel going to push forward here once again. There are some spine crawlers set up over there, but his third base is pretty undefended. So a lot of Immortals right here are going to make these Roaches not as good, but they do have the +1 finished just now, I believe. Yes, the +1 has finished. +1 Carapace as well, about to finish. And it looks like Axel may be in a little bit of trouble. So here we go. The Roaches now going to push forward. Some more force fields do go down, so the sentries just got the force fields that they needed, able to really split off that army and force those Roaches back. And Axel, once again, still in a decent position here. Needs to keep maintaining that energy on those sentries, though. Those sentries are so crucial in this attack right now, as they can force field those Lings off of those Immortals. They can force field back those Roaches and split them in half, and that just makes it so hard for Gambit to really deal with anything. In the meantime, Axel going to be taking a third behind all of this aggression. 2-2 going down now for our Zerg player Gambit, and Axel still just on the 1-1, I believe. Yes, he is. Has he expanded at all? I mean, not expanded, boosted any more upgrades, anything like that. Blink possibly coming down as the Twilight Council does go down there, and it looks like Gambit now just going to push out across the map. He does have a nice supply lead as his opponent. Axel has been investing a lot into resources, into more tech, more building, stuff like that. So there might be a little window here that Gambit can do some decent damage, as he does have that supply lead. His Spire is done. Has he used it at all? I don't think so. Let's check the units count. No, he has not. And if you look, he's still only on 54 drones, so not many drones at all. And I would imagine he would want to drop another hatchery right here to go ahead and further that production or income, but no, instead he's just going to opt for this expansion at the back of his base. So a smart move, and it looks like he tried to sneak into the back, was unsuccessful, and now he could possibly catch his opponent off guard. Axel with beautiful force fields right there, going to force field so many of those Roaches, and now those Roaches just going to try and focus down the sentries. And it looks like he's just going to escape with whatever he can. How many sentries did go down? I'm not sure, as Axel made so many more sentries. And 5 Immortals now in this army. You have to start deviating from the Roaches, as once you get 5 or 6 Immortals, it is just too tough to really do the damage you need with that simply Roach army. So there we go. Mutalisks now coming out. to deal the damage, and Gambit once again going to start pushing forward, possibly to do some damage. No, he does bait 4 force fields though, loses a couple of units. And more links on the way, and Axel with his observer in the middle of the map just can see everything that his opponent is doing. What is he teching up into? We see the Templar Archives going down now, so possibly going to be getting Archons to add into his army, or Storm. I wouldn't imagine Storm as often, as usually you just see that Archon army, as it does. They're very, very good units for tanking and stuff. And here we go, Axel going to push forward and go ahead and bait some of those units, and actually drop some nice force fields there, and once again pick off more units. So slowly and surely Axel just continually is picking off units while not losing much at all. And there we go, yes, Archons now being added to the army for that tank. Gambit going to be trying to sneak around, possibly. No, just going to pick off a probe and then sneak back, and doesn't even get the probe. His 2-2 has not finished. I mean the 2-1, as he did upgrade the +1 attack on both his roaches and his lings, and it looks like Axel now going to be pushing out across the map. Some mutants going to be flying in, so free losses from the mutants, and here we go, there's going to be an engagement right here. Not the best force fields from Axel, as the lings and roaches have already pushed their way into the force of the Protoss army here, so they're going to be able to get in there and do some decent damage, but so many immortals for Axel, and the immortals are going to do too much damage. They're going to force back Gambit. It is going to be extremely, extremely difficult now for Gambit to deal with this, as Axel can push in and take out this third base, possibly push up here, come around here, and take out the back third or fourth of Gambit as well. And Axel, with that supply lead, now puts Gambit in a very difficult position. The third does go down. Immortals do so much damage to those buildings, of course, and also to the eggs. Wow, are eggs armored? I would imagine they are. And wow, yeah, so now Axel can kind of push in. He is supply blocked, as there was a counterattack with these mutas. So wow, these mutas have actually been in the space for a decent amount of time. I completely overlooked them. So that was my bad. But yes, so it looks like they have taken out a few pylons. Not too much, actually. A few pylons, a couple gateways. I want to check that at the end of the map. Or at the end of the match, but some Mutalisks going down for free. A nice little blink there by Axel to pick off a couple more, but Gambit is still in a difficult situation right here. Not much to defend this huge army of Axel as it pushes across. Now going to push up towards these rocks here, take those out, and then go for the third. It looks like Gambit in the meantime just trying to counterattack his way. And Mutas once again in the main here, just going to pick off the robotics facility. I would like to see him pick off that cybernetics core, as then his opponent could no longer make those stalkers, which he needs to attack air, but no, he's just going to focus down the nexus instead. And Roach is just chilling right here. They need to attack. Axel going to get a nice little blink forward to pick off some drones. He's going to be able to pick off this hatchery so quickly. And this now puts Gambit in an extremely tough situation, as Gambit has practically mined out of his bases, and Gambit lifts off all of his spine crawlers and now going to reset them over here to try and deal with this army of Axel. The Mutas now pulling back roaches as well, but Axel doesn't need any does not need to force the issue, is what I am trying to say, as he can simply just move out over here. It looks like he's going to go for the engaged Gambit, so yes, it looks like we're going to have the final engagement right here. Mutalisk and Roaches do push in, and there is going to be a decent amount of Mutalisk in this army. The Roaches should be cleaned up by these Immortals fairly quickly. Will there be enough Mutas to deal with this? No, there will not, especially while they have the 2-1 upgrades versus the simple 0-1 of our opponent Gambit. And it looks like Axel should be able to take this game, as his opponent is pretty much out of units. He's out of bases, nothing to mine left, and there's the GG from Gambit. So well played by Gambit, but Axel really able to take that, and I would say that Gambit really lost it when he continued to try and push that front, and Axel just held it so many times. Every time it looked like he was going to lose it, especially 42 lings streaming in against like 7 units, things like that. But Axel, with his force fields, with his unit position, hold positioning on that probe, everything like that, to just delay his opponent from actually getting able to get a good surround, was able to take